We grew up on mixtapes and neon.
Hey there, everybody. It's the GlobeTrotting Trio. I'm Amy.
I'm Shelley.
Hello, I'm Tammy.
Hey there, everybody. So today, let's talk about this, empowering the next generation of directors. So last week, we talked a lot about our first yes and why it was so important. Now we want to talk about empowering the people that we help start their business and helping them go on and be leaders themselves, right? That's really what we're here for. We are leaders building leaders. So, what are your thoughts? Any thoughts on this subject before we even jump into the topics that we're going to talk about? Or
Well, one of the thoughts is that there really is nothing like um, having that experience where you were able to go to a director and
Mhm.
then you have somebody that you've brought into the business becoming a director. I
Right.
had, personally actually brought in three total personally enrolled. One of them quit. The other two are still around, obviously, for you guys to know they're still around. But I mean, there really is nothing like seeing that happen. It's like those people are being affected by something that you did, the decision that you made, and the help that you created for them. So
Right.
it's a pretty special feeling for sure.
So maybe we should go back and explain a little bit about what a director is in our company. So our
Mhm.
directors, like Tammy and I are both directors in our company, but what it means is this. We've helped at least 9 people start their own travel business. And then they went out and started helping people. And then they went out and started helping people. And now you collectively have at least 100 people on your individual teams. Um, and that's what causes us to be a director. And Shelley is right on the way. She'll be there soon with us for sure. She's a dedicated woman ready to build her business. So what are your thoughts on um and you know what? Here's the deal. We're talking about creating the next generation of directors, though, empowering them and all that. Think about this. Shelley's not a director, but she's still been empowered to start leading by the example, being the example for other people. So, what are your thoughts on that, Shelley?
Well, you can't wait until you become a director to start leading because you'll never be a director. I'm plain and simple. Like you've got to start building those relationships, those friendships, that mentoring. Like that has to occur
Hmm.
um, as soon as you are equipped and able. And that is a different timeline for everybody. But from the very beginning, you have to develop those relationships.
I agree. So the first topic we were supposed to talk about is teaching that ownership versus dependency, and I love it. That's one of the things that I'm working with somebody on my team right now is having her take ownerships, which she does beautifully. She and I collaborate a lot. We just had a meeting this morning and talked about how we love to build like in that collaborative respect, meaning that I want her input, she wants mine, but it doesn't mean that we're dependent on one another because we can still be independent of each other, which is
Yeah.
the same for us. All three of us, we all work together really well. We kind of bounce ideas off of each other, but ultimately, we're not dependent on the other to making sure. So, what are your thoughts about that?
So there's something to be said. I like the we work together, but we're still independent by ourselves. And that just not just the three of us, but our leadership that is under us is because I mean our highest ranking, our highest income earner in our company, um, she works only, with the people that are direct to her, but she has so much faith in what she has brought to the table for them that they
Hmm.
could do it themselves. They don't need her really because they
Right.
can create it yourself. There's something in saying about creating um, something that's duplicatable. And that's what we've always wanted to do with this business is that, we don't want anybody to be dependent on us. We are all, no matter what level you're at, we're all the same, path. We're all in the same leveling field. We're
Right.
just helping each other for sure. Yeah.
What about you, Shelley? Anything?
No, I think Tammy summed that up really well.
Mic
Not sure I
drop,
could add
done.
anything to that.
Oh, yeah. And I like the fact that she did discuss and or said that we're teaching kind of it's almost like yes, we are duplicatable, but we're actually just demonstrating, we're modeling the behavior that we want that, whenever as an
Yeah.
educator, that's what I did. You always modeled the positives. That's
Yep.
what you wanted. What you wanted to start seeing from others, you model and show them how to do so that they can grasp it. One of the things that I really love is the fact that we are here to coach, not to control.
Mhm.
If somebody
I
told me I had to do it their way, I probably would never not be here right now.
No, and that's the thing is that we are entrepreneurs, but before that, we are humans, grown women and men, that mostly women. We actually deal with mostly women in our teams.
Mhm.
But we're all adults.
Yes.
Uh, we want to be independent. We never want anybody to tell us what to do. If we
Mhm.
wanted somebody to tell it, the people that are the three of us, if we wanted somebody to tell us what to do, we would be at a full-time job and they would be dictating everything to us.
Mhm.
But that's not how our brain is wired, for sure.
Agreed.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
Absolutely.
Nothing, Shelley?
Absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
mine isn't wired
Okay.
that way.
And
Like
maybe Shelly
there's
should start next time.
Yep. So, all right. Let's ask this question.
Taking all your ideas, Shelly.
no, you're good. You're totally fine. I mean, I can't if I wanted someone to tell me what to do, I'd still be working a corporate job for 50 plus hours a week.
Yeah.
I want to have the autonomy and the ability to make those decisions for myself. I think
Mhm.
that's what brings so many of us to this industry.
Right.
I agree. So, talk about leadership development and how do you feel like that protects your team, Shelley?
Oof. Well, you can't you can't live with everyone dependent on you. And you can't be everything to everyone. It is
Right.
not physically capable. You might be able to do it for short term for a few people, but even then, that's gonna end. So if when you are spending the time to develop the leaders that are within your own network, you are empowering them to be able to do things that they thought maybe they could never do. You're empowering them to build their own business, to mentor other individuals, to learn to think and act and build for themselves. We can't physically do that for everyone, and we can't build a business without somebody else, to come alongside and be in this with you and in the trenches and bounce ideas around like the three of us. Like you can't do it on your own. It's not a one man show or one woman show.
I
Mhm.
like it.
I like it. What I was thinking is that, the whole, were we, some of us probably were born to be leaders. Absolutely. Probably showed it when we were growing up and, all of that stuff.
Mhm.
But in my life, until I was out of high school, or actually probably senior year in high school, I never thought I had that leadership because that's not how I was taught as that growing up. At all. I mean, oh no, no, you meek down and you don't just say anything. I mean, that's how I was raised. I mean, I was in a poor family. But, after I started working and got out of the thing that my family thought I was supposed to be doing, following in my sister and brother's footstep, processing insurance claim at a computer all day, that gives me like total palpitations to even think about doing that now all the
Mhm.
time. But once I got away from that, I realized that I did have those leadership skills. And I think that a lot of people, until they do a business like ours, they don't realize what they
Mhm.
have inside of them. And
Mhm.
it
Agreed.
brings them out. And it takes somebody to recognize that and be able to, not necessarily mentor, but recognize that, give them the praise that they need to be able to step into that leadership role.
Right.
Yeah.
I do
Mhm.
love it. All right. Two mic drops right there. I don't have to say anything about that one. How's that? All
All
right.
Boy,
right,
I'm
that's
on
good.
fire today.
I know. Now, I know we've talked about this topic before, but thinking about preparing people for roles before they actually hit the titles, and I know it got mentioned earlier, um, but that is huge. And I will say that I have heard the leaders in our company say this many times, that you should always act as if you are already, you've already achieved this, because the more you walk that way and talk that way and act that way, the more you're going to be able to accept that responsibility. And I think that kind of goes along with the leadership and helping people realize the importance of their own abilities for leadership. So, what are your thoughts on preparing people? Like, how do you feel like you prepare people for those roles before you hit title? Let's do this. Shelley, how do you feel like you are being prepared for the role before actually hitting the title?
Well, I think part of it is you have to take ownership over what you do, plug into the resources that are there for you, whether that's, one-on-one conversations or, going to a live event, being on a webinar, personal conversations, I think for me are probably the most effective. But everybody learns and develops differently. And one of the things I love about what we offer is there's no reason you can't find the way that works for you, because we offer so many different ways to plug in, to network, to learn, to grow, to develop. And I think it's, taking a lot of notes, and then you have to actually put into practice what has been shared with you. Um, and that I suspect is a part of the process that many people maybe don't always understand in the beginning or are not comfortable with, is that practical, now go do what you've just learned. That's hard, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes, the better you become at it, and the more equipped you feel. So that's what I got. Right or wrong, I don't know. That's what I got.
I think it's right.
Right.
I think it's right.
Yeah, so whenever we were having a conversation in one of our leadership meetings recently, and somebody said something about being, I don't know, a six-figure earner or something like that, and they said, you know what? I am already the six-figure earner. My income just hasn't caught up with me yet.
Mhm.
I'm like, you know what? That's brilliant. And that's kind of where I feel like there's a lot of people out there. And that's the positive Priscillas and, negative Nancy's. You get to decide which one you want to be. If you're going to be that positive Priscilla, you're going to take on the role. You're going to take the role, and then the title's going to hit you. And I feel like
Yes,
that's kind
ma'am.
of, yeah, that's kind of that thing. Now, I will say this, we talk a lot about our business and everything and all that. One of the things that we always miss whenever we're talking is this. If you guys are ever interested in hearing about a little bit more about what we do, definitely reach out to us. Because we love mentoring new people. We love helping people start in the business and just enjoy their time. I will say that's one of the best things about our business is we get to help others. And one of the biggest things I can say is leadership is multiplied. It doesn't mean that we are going to lead and just let you guys follow. We want you to be leaders as well. Our goal, just like we were whenever we started raising our children, Shelly and I already have kids out of the nest. Tammy's still working on that. But our ultimate goal was never to be their best friends. Our ultimate goal was to help them be the best humans possible so that they could be productive members of society, right? Well, that's what our goal is in this business, is not to be, I mean, we can, of course, become your best friend, but it doesn't mean that that's the only thing that we're here. We want you to be very productive in your business. We want you to grow and to thrive and do better. So, we're not here to manage you. We're definitely here to multiply. We want to make sure that that leadership just kind of goes out and grows. So that's what we're here for. So definitely, definitely come back and talk to us if you want to. Now, do any of you two, either one of you two, have anything else you'd like to say about this topic before we move on?
I actually think we've covered it. And I love the idea that we manage nobody. That's
Right.
not what we're here for. We're here to help. We're here to mentor. We're here to build those leaders for sure. And the verdict is still out if my son's going to be a human.
He will be a productive member of society, I promise.
I'm kidding. He will definitely be. He's just 17 and he's a boy.
Yeah.
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 That's
It
all.
gets better. It gets better.
Yes, it does.
What about you, Shelley?
Oh,
Any final thoughts?
no.
Okay.
No.
All
No.
right. You don't have to have any final thoughts. It's all good. So let us help you become the leader that you want to be. That's what our final thought's going to be. How's that? All right. So let's say this. If you've enjoyed today's episode or you want to learn more, make sure you hit that follow button, like us, and you know what? You never want to miss any of our adventures. And as always, we want to say thank you for joining us on this wild and beautiful journey. Until next time, my friends, keep exploring.
Bye, everybody.
Talk to you soon.
Travel queen.